Good afternoon and welcome to the first session of the day, the virtual transformation of the retail jewelry industry. The Iijs virtual is powered by GIA, and we have three distinguished members of trade, leaders of the industry. And I'd like to, although they don't require any introduction, but still, we have Rajesh Kalyanaraman, Executive Director of Kalyan Jewelers, which has 107 stores in India and 37 stores in Middle East. Mr. Tawheed Abdullah, Managing Director of Jawahara Jewelry and Chairman of Dubai Golden Jewelry Group. Jawahara has 170 stores in Middle East, of 90 of them is in UAE. And Suvankar Sen, Executive Director of Senco Gold and Diamonds, which has 105 stores in India. To start with, we will be open to taking your questions in the Q&A. So you can keep sending us your questions on this, and we'll take it after the panel discussion. We would like to start with Rajesh ji. Rajesh ji, how has the customer evolved in the pandemic, and how have you been connecting with them from Akshaya Tritiya onwards?
Very good evening. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Iijs team for setting up this kind of an experience. Because Iijs, I joined my father in Kalyan Jewelers in 1993. And from that time onwards, we have not missed a Iijs show. Because more than actually coming there for selection purposes, it's an opportunity to see new trends, meet new people, understand the supplier's point of view. And when we started expanding across the country, the knowledge that we had developed in the show greatly benefited me and the team. Coming to your question, Samir, just like everybody, Kalyan Jewelers also, it is one of the first kind of experiences in our history of doing business, because we have not faced such a reality, harsh reality before, that all these stores will have to be shut and travel restrictions will be there on travel of even executive directors. So to handle the situation, by God's grace, for a very long time, we have been investing a lot in technology. All our systems are having core, we have a core infrastructure in our head office, and all the systems are connected to that. So it helps our inventory planning. Other than that, we have invested and our partner, Mr. Rupesh from Candier, is doing a very good job. So we have an online presence. And we also have a highly equipped IT team headed by my cousin, Mr. Arun Shankar, who was there with Yahoo for about 12 years. So when the situation happened, we actually had a discussion on how to approach this. And we felt that we should give infrastructure to everybody, right from the supplier to our customer to our staff. And we were able to provide this through a variety of programs. And it has helped us, especially for Akshaya Tritiya. We had something called a gold ownership certificate, and the specialty of our ownership certificate was when a customer linked in from Andhra, he will see our Andhra purchase price, he will see our Andhra showrooms, and since we are present in about 19 states, the customer who is entering from Kerala will see the Kerala shops, the Kerala price. So we worked for about 1 month to make this plan, and we are extremely happy that we did about 12% of our actual Akshaya Tritiya business online through this ownership certificate.
Oh, wow. That's so nice. That's so good that you adapted so fast, from Akshaya Tritiya and launched this entire thing online. I think that's the way to go to adapt to this new reality and move forward. Coming to you, Tawheed bhai, the UAE and the Middle East has been very highly virtual and digital friendly for the last 4 to 5 years. Can you share insights of the changing Arab consumer or to this virtual and digital world?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Samir. And I appreciate what Iijs has been doing for the past few weeks, and the results coming up. It is something that we all around the world should be proud of and should be party to it. And I am one of the clients that been conducting the business with you. I think, on the Middle East, we are not the India of the situation where we have got big space, between one Emirates to another is only 2 hours drive. So we have seen during the COVID-19 a huge change on the consumer's habit. One of the things that has been more than anything else, the spending of the families during this has reduced. People have changed their habit, and probably 59% with some equal accurate research says people have started saving money because they changed a lot of habits. Going to the digital, 46% of the population are using digital shopping as today, versus 1 year ago, this was much, much smaller numbers. And as a sequences to that, when we put our industry, if we look at as luxury, I think goes without saying that the consumers looking versus luxury has dropped reasonably in big numbers, could be 40%. It doesn't mean that they will stop here and they will not buy. But for the time being, probably till the year end and things gets better, they will go back to the luxury. But for the time being, the middle uh, cost of uh, products, brands, whatever you want to call it, has taken that benefit in a very big way. So if we look overall, substantial number of people are changed their habit of buying. They said, we have experienced the digital buying and we do not intend, no matter what circumstances become, to go back to where we were a year ago. This is part of the important changes that we have seen. I will put more other points. I will leave the space for somebody else also to carry on.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. 46% is a big number, Tawhid Bhai, that people are going digital and they're looking at this entire buying cycle of online. So we'll like to discuss that a little more in detail as we move forward. Coming to you, Suvankar, in Kolkata now is the season of Durga Pujo. We are just days away, I think 10 days away from Durga Puja starting. And from Akshaya Tritiya till now, you have had many festivals. So during the pandemic, how did you manage, to open up your showroom, and how did you connect with them virtually?
So there were multiple steps that were taken to build the confidence amongst the customers to make sure that their relationship with the brand Senco remains. So when the lockdown happened, it was very important as a brand to continuously engage and reach out to your consumer in terms of what kind of CSR activities, how as a brand we are being able to be by the side of humanity and help them in the times of need were there. So there were three-pronged strategy. One was a CSR-led strategy where we tried to reach out, make our employees across the country, wherever they could, reach out to our senior citizen customers if they were needing any kind of help or support, to be by them and provide the daily necessities, medicines and all. So that was one thing we did during the lockdown. Parallelly, in terms of the business part of it, we saw that on 15th of April it was the Bengali New Year, but unfortunately, in spite of a lot of hope, we saw that nothing was happening. So innovatively, just that the way that Rajesh Bhai said, that we immediately thought that how do we make sure that consumers don't lose out on the Akshaya Tritiya buying. And we came out with an online offer. We told the customers that you can pay your payment online and we can book the gold. And at the time when the lockdown opens up, you can use that advance money. And even if whatever be the price, the consumer will enjoy the lower price. So with this impact, we could actually gather a substantial amount of money as advance during lockdown, which enabled the organization to fulfill the commitments related to the various stakeholders, such as banks and all of that. And consumers also benefited, and they also thought in their minds that they could enjoy an Akshaya Tritiya season. Then in the month of June, as and when we saw that the stores were gradually opening up, There were markets in which stores were open up till say 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. There were markets in which it was open on alternate days. So there was a whole kind of rostering that had to be done. We tried to motivate our team. We actually moved on to a digital mode of selling because we thought that there were two things. There were consumers who were scared to come to the store. So we have to take all the safety precaution and health and hygiene aspect of it to make sure customers felt comforted to come to the store. And that was an important aspect of being a brand as well. So we actually took all those steps during the lockdown and we implemented it across the stores in India. We launched certain videos regarding that on the Facebook, YouTube, communicated to all our customers. Also, we told all our salesperson that this is a time when don't expect people to come to the store. You have to reach out to your consumers. So we started selling jewelry through video calling, and almost almost 15 to 20% of the sales during the month of June, July, and August was happening because consumers were wanting to buy gold or diamond jewelry. The weddings were there. There were certain weddings happening at home. There were certain weddings that are coming in the coming months. But consumers were scared that what happens if the gold prices keeps going up. So they wanted to buy something before the gold prices moved up higher. So we could showcase all those kind of products through video calling. They were taking appointment booking for video calls, appointment booking for a safe and secured selling option at the store. And also, along with that, we told all our stores that you have to start thinking digital. They made a digital catalog of their own self, and then they started reaching out to the customers with their own set of digital catalogs. So everything, the whole aspect of it is that today you have to forget the fact that geography is history. You don't expect people and don't expect consumers to come to you. You have to take all the necessary whatever initiatives to reach out to people, to make sure they know what are the new designs, new collections are being brought in, and to make the consumers excited. We did not stop our product development. Be it in Rakhi, we brought out a Bandhan collection. During Rath Yatra, it was a Jagannath Ji auspicious occasion. We brought out a collection for that. So we used each and every occasion, kept innovating and reaching out to the consumer through offline or online mode, and just try to become a frictionless and a seamless kind of a brand. So tradition, yes, jewelry is a traditional product, but the way to sell going forward, you have to overcome all sorts of whatever you could call it, inconvenience to the customer, and make sure you just reach out to them anywhere possible. So that's how it is.
Oh, very nice, very good. I like this thing which you're saying. You can forget about geography. You have to reach them in whatever way, in the 360-degree manner to the customer now. I think that is the future. Coming back to you, Rajesh ji, you have Candere as an exclusive e-commerce proposition from Kalyan Jewellers for last few years. Where do you see the e-commerce business going, and what is it? If you can share some numbers with us, how is it going? What percentage of customers are coming online, and how is Candere coping up with what price points, what kind of products? It would be really nice.
Yeah. When we invested in Candere about 6-7 years back, Rupesh and the team, what made us invest in Candere was that they had developed such a good backend, right from the design showcasing to their online selection portals, which we felt that we should be part of. And once the integration started happening and our design started merging, we could see the sales growing. My estimates or what has happened for Candere is abnormal, because we have seen the sales grow by double each year, and we have closed it about 65 crores last year, which is I think quite phenomenal. And this year, even after the lockdown, we are expecting to grow by 30-40% in Candere. So online is picking up, but when you see online as a portion of the total sales, it is still ranging at about 1 or below 1%. If you see a global data, we can see online anywhere between 7 to 10%. So all of us know that whatever happens in the universe is automatically coming to India. So all of us should put our seatbelts ready, and we should expect the sales to still grow by manifold. And I expect Candia to reach at least 500 crores in easily if it is going at this rate. However, one thing that we have observed is people are preferring omni-channel rather than only online, especially for jewelry retail, because they are using our online presence to observe the products and to understand the significance of the designs and the workmanship. And at many occasions, in fact, we have now introduced this live video shopping, whereby also people can see the products from their house, and we have seen customers in many places, including Patna or Raipur, and telling of even distant locations where they come to the shop, they don't want to get down from the car, and we have to pack the product and give them, and they swipe their card and take it away. So we are observing a lot of different shopping experiences that presently is going on, and we feel that one thing, according to my observation, is that it has to be a mix of offline, online. I don't see offline standing alone, online standing alone, together with offline, online, as Suvarna Sen was telling, that we should be able to reach the customers in a 360 degree to improve our sale.
Yes. That's very nice. You know, the customers coming in the car and not getting down, and you have to pack and give it. That's, I think, the new normal. And you're right. You know, the offline, online has to remain together. Like all three of you are also agreeing to that. That is, I think, the future. But let's go to Tauhid Bhai and ask him, Tauhid Bhai, how do you see the future of your retail business evolving in the Middle East in the next 5 to 6 years in this entire virtual post-pandemic world?
You know, I will give you some interesting researches which has been done by a very reputable financial institute, credit card. We on the UAE, 10% of merchants today have started, versus probably they were 2% last year. So today there are 10% of the merchants started actively doing business through digital. The more interesting things, 59% of those people have promised themselves that this is the convincing way for the future. And 64% of those are already starting to put a plan to start invest for that. So it shows you, despite the decline of the size of the bill, we have seen that happening. We have seen people saving money. We have seen people buying less luxury. The business will continue. The mentality of the people will continue to treat themselves. Some of the points I would like to emphasize, that it could be within our industry, like Mr. Rajesh mentioned, still we are in a very infancy when it comes to our industry, believing the consumer will still, because we sell emotion, we sell product lasts forever. So you're not going to, you would like to feel it. It is the nature of our business. But we have taken a huge advantage and a huge way of marketing our products. So that is where the big advantage today, number one, that we are thinking purely digital, how to promote our products, how to show virtual trying the product, how to show a debate on manufacturing, a debate of asking, opening a virtual stall and the consumer asks. So all these gimmicks we have been following up. And one more interesting thing, I believe that if we are 10% of the merchant with a lot of percentage investing and believing that this is going to be the future, I think there is no way around that we start practicing it. Probably our industry is going to be the most difficult to reach the consumer, the B2C, to conduct a sale. I think we are using this vehicle of the digital to make ourselves more known to the consumer, and we are much dearer to the consumer, and we are showing our products in much better civilized way that we have been doing on the past. Thank you.
Great. That's so nice to know, Toit Bhai, that, we know that we are selling gold and people want to touch and feel, but I think it's a slow process, like what Rajesh ji is also saying, that globally it is only 7 to 10% now. In India, we are not even 1%, So let's see how we go. I think it will take time,
We are probably also 1 or 2 or probably 3%, it is talking about jewelry. Some brands are accessories. That's not related to our, but jewelry, yes, we are probably 2 to 3%, and we have seen that during the pandemic shutdown. But if we go back to reality, we are in a very modest numbers.
Yes. Okay. Coming to you, Subankar, you are there in Amazon for many years now, selling jewelry. Also, you launched your own e-commerce, and you have this very interesting, small, nice character called Miss Senko, who talks to the consumers when they come online, and she actually guides them on what to buy, and things like that. Can you share with us some insights on this entire program which you're running for your online to offline and offline to online business?
So just the way everyone in the panel is saying that today online is an enablement. It is a tool to make sure that the consumer gets to buy the product, which is situated in some form of an offline channel. It could be a warehouse, it could be your head office, it could be your office, it could be your showroom. So the online is now a medium of communicating and connecting to your customers. So that's how you should look at online. Even at IIJS, the online that is happening, the virtual part of it, it is just that physical, distances are large, but you are still communicating and showing what exactly is the kind of product that you want to sell to the customer. So that is something that we in all our minds have to be very clear that it is finally, as Tawhid Bhai said, that it's a physical product, but we have to connect with the customer in the mind through the online channel if the customer is physically not being able to be there. Now, Miss Senko, answering to queries of the customer. We all know that the young generation, the demographics of the country have been changing. We've been having so many discussions on those changing demographics. If we go to a Google or a Facebook or an Amazon and kind of see the kind of searches that are there, what is it that the customer is actually trying to look for in any kind of the kind of jewelry that they would want to buy. So basically, what is happening on the internet platform is customer is looking for information. And when it could be any kind of information, it could be information related to the product, related to an occasion, related to a particular brand, it could be anything for that matter. So now, be it a Kalyan Jewelers, be it a Senko, be it a Johara, be it a Tanish, whoever it is, now we are all various brands with our own collection, with our own products. And if a customer has any kind of query that, okay, what do I need to know something from this brand? I want to know something from this brand, or I want to know something from the industry. So how are we trying to communicate that and give that information? That is the role that Miss Senko on behalf of Senko, because as a brand, it is, see, very ideally 3 6 like 24/7 we would like to be there now, reaching out to the customer physically. It is possible to a certain extent, it is might not be possible to a certain extent, but every time throughout the day, today you and me, we are consumers. Even at night, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we might have something coming in our mind, we might be looking for some information. So how do we as a brand give that information to the customer? And as far as Amazon, our own website, all of that, it plays two different roles. One is in terms of visibility. When customers are looking for a particular product, are they that particular platform becomes like a catalog for the customer to understand what is it that you're selling, what is the new design, what is the new trend. And then if a customer has that trust and that faith for your brand, that yes, no matter what, I will buy from this brand. This brand is my brand. I have been buying for so many years. So why not I buy one more product? It doesn't, okay, if in case there is some problem, then I will obviously go and exchange it. And as a brand, we have to give that service to the customer. So the trust element should become a very, very critical role to make sure that we encourage our customers who are unable to come to the store to buy from us online. And so is in Amazon. If you go and search in Amazon, it is quite a sad situation. If you type gold jewelry, you will see that there will be fashion jewelry products being showcased whenever you are searching gold jewelry. So the point is that the whole economics of searches, dependency on the platforms to have your brand showcased on top, it is becoming a very, very complicated game. So you have to create your identity, you have to create your story, you have to create your USP in your products and make the customer look for you. So that is what I have learned through these various online platforms. And yes, if you keep innovating with new designs, if you understand what the customer is looking for and provide a product as per their need, no matter what, customers will always try to buy from you. And as far as your own website goes, it is like online sales is happening to a certain extent, pure online, but a phone call, a lead generation, understanding, showcasing your products to the customer, then following it up with from particular store. That is how a connection 360-degree will make your sales complete. So this is how online and offline have to come together.
Great. Thank you, Shubhankar. Thank you for that insight. There are one or two, questions which are now coming from the audience. As we know, what as per this entire panel and also what we have been hearing in the market is that 60-70% of the business or the major opportunity is basically online influenced offline sales. Like Rajesh Bhai also said, people are seeing it online, coming and taking the delivery from the car or coming and seeing the last mile is in the store. So the consumer journey is actually beginning online. So there is a lot of requirement, for consumers to see content. Content means good stories, good content, good reading material on our products, on our jewelry. That is what they are looking at online. So Rajesh Bhai, I want to come to you, because you're doing Candere now for 6-7 years. Are you seeing increase in terms of consumers who are starting their journey maybe in Candere and coming to Kalyan Jeweler stores in different parts of the country and looking at the same pieces and buying?
It's a very interesting question, Samit. In fact, I'll have to tell one sentence about Samit, because I have known him for quite some time. And this type of question can only be asked by you because you have involved yourself in our jewelry sector for so long. Because it is a perfect question in today's scenario. Because a customer, he has a feeling online, and but he is not willing to sacrifice the touch and feel. So he is finishing the end purchase in the store. And in fact, I would like to reveal something that since it's only an industry discussion, I would like to reveal something here. When we had Candere or when we invested in Candere, there were a lot of times when we thought whether the name should be retained as Candere or whether we should have it as Kalyan Jewellers. In fact, Rupesh, who is actually the brain behind this Candere, he was telling sir that people are so used to search Candere, and Candere has a history. And if you start searching Kalyan Jewellers may be very big in online or offline, but it will take time for you to come into the front. And he proved to be right, because people have got an affinity for selection of the name and the search profile. And what we have noticed is, after going into Candere, they are seeing the designs, and where we have also mentioned Kalyan Jewellers' name, and we have seen quite a few of those pieces getting converted inside the store. So what I'm trying to tell you in short is that we have to accept that the mindset of online searches is different. The mindset of buying offline is different. But we are seeing a merging of these two habits very sharply during the past 6 months. Earlier, only youngsters used to go online, and we used to have only small products. Now, if you see our own website, in fact, you can see a lot of bigger products also coming there. The reason is because people have started to search even different products in offline space now.
Yes. No, that's happening. That's happening in a big way. and video calling facility. People are now seeing with full family together in different houses, and you are from your showroom, they are seeing all the jewelry, or from Suvankar showroom, or from any other retail showroom, they are seeing the jewelry, and they're very happy seeing it on video. But finally, when they have to see the shortlisted pieces, they must come to the store. They come to the showroom, and then they see, touch and feel, wear, and then they do the final transaction. So Tauhid bhai, coming to you, for Middle East, there is a lot of millennial population, and Middle East is far ahead in terms of Instagram purchases. We have seen a lot of Instagram purchases directly happening in Dubai, and for not only jewelry, but also other luxury products. As chairman of Dubai Golden Jewelry Group, do you think this time Dubai Shopping Festival will have a virtual side or a digital side where, you have consumers coming from more than 116 countries for DSF, that they can access your jewelry from Dubai and buy online? Tauhid bhai, you have to switch on your microphone.
Samit, I would like to just highlight something which could be a very new to some of the people. In my part of the world, we depend, especially in United Arab Emirates, we depend a lot on tourism. So the tourism will not buy digitally because they would like to go to the souk and so on. So we take benefits of the vehicle of digital to introduce companies, why manufacturing made in UAE and so. In between, I have been asked a few weeks ago, what is the, if you recall when we were with the World Gold Council around the world saying that millenniums are not buying, they are distant away from our jewelry, we need to reach them, we need to read their minds, we need to adapt to their needs and so on. So these vehicles are helping us to reach the younger generation. But in between, I think we all, as retail chain stores operator, particularly on the Gulf, we have to start thinking seriously that one of our retailers who pay rent, who pay tax, who pay this, who pay that, staff training, insurance, you have an endless list of costs. We are going to face in a very few years a huge challenge. It's we are happy about the challenge, but we have to be prepared to know where is this challenge to come from. In my region, the challenge is coming from the freelancers who today have started very low cost platform. Virtually, they have not put a shop, but it's a virtual shop that they have done. They don't need to borrow from the bank and pay interest and make models, and models work, models doesn't, remodel it, and so on. They will go to the suppliers and present 5, 6 of them, create a nice video and a nice film, a very open interaction with the consumers, particularly the younger ones. And I can assure you, if we have been able to do 10%, 2 or 3% of our business jewelry on the digital, I can assure you 90% of that is going through the channel of freelancers. And those are something we as chain stores operator, we have to create our own freelancers to be able to help create special collection for this freelancer special. Otherwise, we will find ourselves losing a big chunk of our business versus low cost and not fair competition. Some new designers will come, will help to improve the industry, but to main chain stores operator with heavy cost, we have a big challenge. We hope this year during the Dubai Shopping Festival, we have a very interesting offers to the consumers. And because we have started seeing since July and August good numbers on retail, so this is encouraging, especially the government departments would like to, on the absence of some big numbers, percentage of tourism not being able to join this season, we will still have some. We were targeting 16 million or 18 million last year. Probably will the numbers is going to be much lower to that. But we would like to attract people within the region, people within UAE, with a very special offers on the shopping festival. And we hope we are going to please everybody, and we hope that we will continue to be the city of gold. And thank you very much for allowing me to steal these few moments to talk about the kind of uh, tension that we have to be aware that we have to be start watching. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you, Tawhid Bhai, for sharing these insights. I'm sure Dubai Shopping Festival will go very well, even with the people from the region and UAE being there. So we'll see you at Dubai during that time and then talk to you again there. Now, moving on to Suvankar. Suvankar, you are using a lot of blockchain technology, as I've been seeing, and you have been telling us about blockchain and about a lot of things which you do in your store. And we were talking a few days back on a video interview where you said that, this entire Iijs virtual is changing the game in terms of, you're seeing digital images, you're seeing digital inventory, and then that inventory comes to you, and then you have to show it to the consumer in a digital manner. So in some way, it is a very nice change, and a very progressive change which we are seeing. How do you see the market adapting to this entire B2B, B2C, digital transformation?
See, so the market, so let's take the question one by one. Blockchain technology is like a much deeper technology than what we talk of it on on a basis just casually. No, it is much deeper than that. So for example, it is what? It is a ledger accounting where, suppose if you are a buyer and someone is a seller, whenever you do a transaction without some manual entry happening, both the books gets updated with that ready accounts on an immediate basis. So what, rather than we are in the very nascent stage of blockchain kind of technology, where say a certification that is being done by one of our third party vendor, so we have it all linked to them. So when that certification is given to someone, it's on a digital basis. So it is on their cloud, and and our data is in our cloud, and it kind of interacts with each other, and then they get a certificate from the third party vendor. So that is just one of the very nascent stage of integrated technology between two parties. So that is one. Then coming here at the B2B or the B2C integration, all our vendors who are manufacturers, be it in diamond jewelry or gold jewelry, see, they have been used to doing business in a particular manner, and where the buyers are going physically, seeing certain things, and then selecting the products. But we as an industry have to gradually evolve each and every one of ourselves, where we have to bring out collections, we have to bring out stories to the product. And as a B2B seller, I cannot just sell a commodity. And that is where, to answer to Tawhid Bhai's question, that how do we cater to these challenges posed by the, like he's talking of the freelancers, we call them the influencers or whatever you call them. It is only when you as a chain store, as a brand, will have a particular story to the product which you can talk about. They are talking about their story. Our consumer, why would that consumer buy from them and not buy from you? Is because they don't care about the story. Then it becomes a product. The product has to become much more than that. So that is one aspect of it. So the same synergy has to travel up to the manufacturers also, where the manufacturers also cannot just create products. They have to create story to the product and give it to us as the chain stores. And then as chain stores, each one of us can take our own story and then pose it to the consumer with our story to it. So this is how we can cater to the challenges. The whole virtual part of it, it is not like you can continue showing kilos and kilos of jewelry. No, you cannot do that. The chain stores can have certain benefits that if we like a particular product, we can buy it in multiple pieces. But then the manufacturer and the wholesaler needs to put that little extra energy, the extra effort on that design of the product to make it really worthwhile. So this is where a change needs to happen at the manufacturer's end or the wholesaler's end, and the change of mindset needs to happen at the retailer end also. And once that traveling is being done wonderfully by our new age, be it a Carrot Lane or a Candier, they have done it wonderfully well in their philosophy, in their way of working. But if we can learn from them and adopt it in our traditional business, I think that it will make it easier and simpler. And right from manufacturer to the end consumer, that virtual aspect of the whole business can travel very smoothly. So this is my take on it.
Great, great, great. And Suvankar, what do you think will be the market like, in the next 6 months?
If you really ask me, with all the virtual talking happening, I will be very hopeful that the chance for people to go out and buy from the stores, they will do that, because the consumers are, getting sick and tired of sitting in the house.
Yes, I agree.
And I can see so many people traveling, maybe not traveling far away because they don't have an option, but traveling close by over weekends because they're getting claustrophobic. It is like sitting, we are all chained and inside the jail kind of a thing. So there will be a big, once things normalizes, markets will come back to normal, consumers will hit the stores, but we should not forget the learnings from these challenges. We need to continue to give this digital tool to make sure that consumers later on also can always stay connected with us. And we are not just fighting amongst ourselves as competition, but we are fighting with other luxury products, other lifestyle products, other categories of there. So let us take all of us together, the money from the other sectors, and sell a good product, gold, where we know that even in crisis it has performed so well. So
Yeah.
let us think in that manner and do great and continue to survive for the future also.
Great, 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 great. We are seeing, Rajesh bhai, I'm coming to you now. We have seen that the gold business and the gold jewelry business has really opened up India's economy story. Gold has been the first industry which is doing well. It is really leading, followed by auto and select real estate. And we are seeing a very, with this entire pandemic, and as Suvankar was saying, this is a learning which we have had. And people who have been reading online, on website, different things about jewelry, things about gold and how to buy gold, and about Akshaya Tritiya, the importance of Akshaya Tritiya or importance of Diwali. So there is a huge change. And if you see, the online world is moving to physical. For example, Carrot Lane, after they opened stores, 50 to 70 stores they have now opened, they are doing fantastic business, because suddenly they realize that, the online people who they are buying, they want to have that physical touch and feel and the experience. So where do you see in the next 6 months the business going, Rajesh bhai?
Actually, I am an optimist. So we need to think positive, and only then the purpose of existence itself is there. So we have to admit that there are huge challenges, because right from the lockdown which we have seen to the labor intensive sectors still not getting the full workmen into place, to the recession that is being talked about in the newspapers, magazines, or TV channels. So we need to, while we are understanding that there are a lot of impacts, while I'm optimistic, reality. So we should not be optimistic or very pessimistic. If you see the reality, if you talk about the entire nation or all the businesses together, it is not going to be an easy job for the next 6 months. However, in case of gold jewelry, we have a great advantage. Reasons are plenty. The first reason is, when I was sitting in the shop directly as a salesman about 19 years back, when there was a wedding happening in a family, about 75 to 80% of their budget they used to spend on jewelry. But over the time, we saw big wedding halls coming up. Then we saw designer clothing, and we saw auditoriums getting lit up, decorations, the big invites. And what happened was that the budget was divided into all these in case of a wedding. But now with this lockdown and all these restrictions, we are noticing that we are having 75 to 80% of the marriage spend has come back to jewelry showrooms. So that I feel is a big thumbs up. The next is that I will use a small term in Malayalam, where because since I am from Kerala, mannum punnum chadikilya. That is, land and gold will not cheat. That is what our ancestors used to tell. So now people have realized that, because whatever you are investing in other places or whatever is the spend in iPhones or laptops or digital things or for cosmetics, what people have realized is that what is their saving, what have they got. So once that thought process comes across, they understand the significance of jewelry, and that thought has gone up very big, because when a person used to buy jewelry, there were two major reasons. One was because they could wear it and it's a beautiful piece which they can use, and the second was that it was an investment. Now the thought that it's an investment has come across very big. So according to me, these two have driven the jewelry sales to the best possible style during this lockdown. Now, according to me, all of us together, instead of wasting time in because including me, we have done a lot of ads about making charges, about this offer, that, this, etc. Now it is time for us in all our ads to include the jewelry, the woman's dream and best investment. So once that thought process is coming across, in fact, we are having a discussion amongst ourselves whether one time when World Gold Council was there, they had one tagline, and all of us were using the same tagline. So I am just suggesting, Sohit Bhai is here, Sen is here, so whether we should plan for one tagline and we should use it in all our campaigns, because that will be, together we stand, divided we fall. So that is a suggestion that I have.
Very nice, Rajesh ji. Very nice. Thank you very much. You know, just after this session at 3:30, we have Som Sundaram, the World Gold Council Managing Director India, on a panel. I will put that question to him, if he can lead that thing for India and Middle East. Yes. Because Sohit Bhai, you, Suvankar, you know, a lot of other retail chains and other jewelers in India would love to see a large-scale gold campaign, because I think it is the time for us to come back for a big, with a big gold campaign together as an industry. Okay. Final quick one, Bhai, on your take on the next 6 months of the business of the year for your region.
I think, you know, there is some kind of saving which has been piled out on the last few months. So we will definitely see some revenge buying on spending families' savings. I think I am positive as always, but I think there is one point which I agree with Mr. Rajesh with a small tweet, that we have proven, our industry has proven that we are the best saving haven for the entire worldwide. The gold particularly is a safe haven for a rainy day, and the credibility on the gold which we have seen coming up, and the confidence coming up on the jewelry, is a very excellent platform for us to live in a better half year or 1 year or years to come. My only concern is I would love to invest and support the idea of it is the right time for us to promote the gold around the world. Just deviating from the word investment is to make it like a saving, and it is a best kind of saving for any rainy day. You can use it for a day use, you can use it for bridal, you can use it, but on the same time, it is the best saving money can buy. So I share all the opinions. I appreciate what's being said, and I am very confident that the sentiment of the consumers versus the luxury, high luxury And when it comes to gold, I think we will have a higher preferential consuming habits will be diverted to our industry. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you, Tawhid bhai. So basically what we have seen in this panel today is that the winner or the winning retailer will be somebody who can integrate the offline and online platforms. The consumer love for gold will continue and it will become stronger and stronger. We'll surely pitch for an industry-wide campaign, like Rajesh ji and everybody agreed, a tagline which we can come up with. And customers will love this omni-channel experience. The better story we tell online, the better sales we will have in our offline showrooms, is the final word from this panel. Thank you very much, Iijs Virtual. You have really changing the game. You have really started this entire thing on where we are talking business sitting at home, doing business sitting at home or our offices. And this is year 2020. COVID has given us a new beginning, and gold is leading the way in India and Middle East, the world's two largest gold regions. You know, we are almost together, both the regions are almost 70% of the business of gold and jewelry. So I'm sure, and these are the three biggest leading stalwarts from the industry who we had. We are very lucky to have. Thank you very much, all three of you. And I'm sure the audience and everybody who is watching this had a lot to take home knowledge about. And we'll see you at the Iijs virtual platform. Thank you very much.